I'm making my own cold pack. I've got a zipper bag and I'm going to put in, maybe not that much, yeah, the kind of crystals that you use in a vase. And I'll put in water, but not too much, not enough to expand them to their full size. I'll seal the bag. And so they're starting to plump up already. And I'll let them plump up, and then I might add a little bit more water. Let's see if I can get a close-up of that. Okay, it's been a while, and the pieces are about that big. I would say the pieces are about half the size that they would be if I had given them all the water they wanted. Okay, so now I'm going to flatten this out, squeeze out the extra air without letting anybody escape. Try that again. And put this in the freezer. Here it is out of the freezer. The reason I use these and not just ice is that even that thick, it breaks up pretty easily. If I can get some round ones, I'll use those. But I wanted to do a comparison. These are the size that are in here. I gave about a cup of water. I had almost a full package of this. Let's see, this is 1 ounce. I had almost a full package of the water crystals. I gave it a cup of water and the pieces ended up about that size. If I give it as much water as it wants, they end up this size. Or actually most of them end up kind of that size. So let's put them side by side. Whoops. I'd say that's maybe 4 times that across. You might estimate differently. So 4 cubed. Anyway, yeah, sorry, it's a long day. I can't do numbers right now. I think I'm going to add a little more water to these, maybe another cup, double them so they'll be a little bit bigger than they are now, but then I'll stop there. I have these water gems. It says to add at least 1 liter per 10 grams of water gems. And let's see, I assume this bag is 10 grams. Yeah, no. 18 grams. Okay. So you add 2 liters of water for this. So I want less than that. This package leaked, so I had to contain it. And it spilled, so there's a little bit of dirt in here too. There we go. So I want about maybe half a liter in here. I'm going to estimate, I think, let's see, a liter is about a quart, quarter of a quart is about a cup. So let's say that much. Try to pick out the, yeah, well, it'll be contained, it'll be fine. And now I will just let these sit. Zip it up for containment. And let those hydrate Okay, so I think these turned out pretty well. They're about the size that I wanted. So now I'm going to try these. These are red. They may have dye on the outside or they may have the dye on the inside. I've got a little more than a cup of water in here. Let's see what happens. Okay, with the crystals, a lot of dye goes into the water right away, but with these spheres, apparently not. I don't know if you can see. So we'll wait, let those hydrate, then mix them and freeze them. Here they are hydrated. They're about that big. White ones are similar, maybe just a tad smaller. So, dump them all in here. Push the air out. I won't get all the air out, but most of it. And then I'll take a tray like this. And squish them flat. That way if they do stick together and I can't manipulate this the way I want it, at least it'll be flat. So here it is frozen. And you can see it breaks up very easily. Kind of like peas, that's sort of the point. Maybe it's not frozen. I'll put it back. We'll see if it holds up to several cycles or whether it starts freezing into a brick. Here they are. You can see they're individually frozen, although there is some frost around each one, and so they are tending to stick to each other a bit. So I mush them down and I wrap them in a towel to put under my laptop on the laptop board my brother made for me. Alright, so there's a laptop. It's not really stable because it's not wide. The frozen pack isn't wide enough, so I take some foam pieces and I put some under one end and some under the other end. And that makes the whole thing much more stable, so when I go type on it, it'll be okay. After the second freeze cycle, they're actually like a brick. I mean, they're really hard and they're stuck together. You can see how they look here. I am not happy. So, I went on the internet to find some new ideas. Just took these out. I did not break them up. They're loose. They're perfect. The alcohol worked. There's this, straight out of the freezer. Still soft, works fine. Okay, I just took this out of the freezer. You can see there's some frost around the dots, but they still break apart pretty easily. It's easier to just take it in two hands and bend it, but of course I'm holding the camera. So I'm very happy with this and with the other one. Here are my 2 ice packs, 6 months later. Let's open them up. Those are the crystals. And the little spheres are largely intact, but somewhat broken up. I guess it looks like the pink ones survive better than the white ones. So maybe less water keeps them spheres, I don't know. I've been very, very happy with these. Current ice packs, I've already broken them up, but this one definitely needs more alcohol. I usually wrap up in this kind of a towel rather than a terry cloth towel. So I take the ice pack and I wrap the towel around both ways. And if I need milder cooling, I use the double side. For my computer, I usually put it underneath like this and mush it down a bit to hold the computer when I'm working on a laptop board. I can also use this on my skin. I tend to store it, I do the 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. I can store it in a lunch pack in between. I can use a pillowcase. Put the ice in the pillowcase. Usually in one corner. And then I take the end of the pillowcase and I turn it into the pillowcase. I tuck it in so it's there. Alright, so I've got the edge in my hands here, and I'm tucking it all the way down to the bottom, like that. And now I have 3 layers here, 1 layer here, and an extra 3 layers so I can make it thick or slightly thinner and use that. I can also scrunch up the ice pack within. Put it in a pillowcase. Like that. I'm being sloppy now. I have this that I keep my computer on because it's slanted. You can see it's got a... So I put this under there, curve it up. I put a piece of cloth down on my desk. And after a while, this gets cool, and the computer cools a little. That's not very efficient, but for longer term, it works. I've been very, very happy with these.